Green Report today is about the floods in Nebraska. Let's hope that prayer that the water doesn't rise anymore isn't all we have from a nuclear disaster to save us from a nuclear disaster. Paul Gunter is with us. He is the director of the Reactor Oversight Project at BeyondNuclear.org, Twitter Beyond Nuclear, at Beyond Nuclear. Paul, welcome back to the program.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
So what is it that we're not seeing in the news media about what's going on in Nebraska?
Well, we're not seeing inside the plant for one thing, but right now, both CNN and ABC have reported that that rubber berm that was surrounding the Fort Calhoun nuclear power plant collapsed Monday morning, sending floodwaters right up against the reactor wall, the reactor building wall, and now we're seeing an AP report that's just confirmed that floodwater is now penetrating into the turbine building of the Fort Calhoun nuclear power plant. They're just above Omaha.
Right.
So we've got we've got a concern that the floodwater is now getting into buildings at the reactor facility. It's not in the reactor building as best we can tell, but there are penetrations. We're seeing these holes. We know that the plant was not in compliance with flood control as of last year. They got a very significant violation from the U.S. NRC after inspectors found it. And then we learned that, they were supposed to be patching these holes up to 10 feet above grade there at the plant. And 11 days ago, we find out they're still plugging holes. So, they got a yellow finding in October of 2010, and on June 16th, they're still plugging holes. And now, by this time, they're surrounded by floodwater. And so, the water's still rising, and there's more water coming, and we haven't seen the end of this yet.
Now, I understand this plant. There's actually two plants on the Missouri River that are flooded. Do I have that right?
That's right. Fort Calhoun. It's a small pressurized water reactor north of Omaha, and then there's the Cooper Nuclear Power Station, which is a Fukushima-style reactor just south of Omaha in Brownville, Nebraska, and they're both right on the Missouri River floodplain. That's the thing that's really confounding, is that these plants were allowed to be built on a floodplain, to be put into harm's way by a potential 100-year flood or 1,000-year flood. But now with climate change, these floods are going to come more frequent, and they very well could be much higher than predicted.
Well, and in fact, that's exactly what we're seeing. And have either of these plants now lost power? I understand that the one at Fort Calhoun has actually lost because the transformers that where the high tension lines come in that would serve to run the cooling system for both the nuclear waste and for the plant, that they have lost that power and they're running on diesel power, emergency diesel?
Well, the Fort Calhoun plant, again, it was behind this large rubber berm that collapsed. When that collapsed, the river water, the flood water came rushing in on the plant. The transformers that are part of the switchyard, which provide off-site power to Fort Calhoun Station, they're behind a concrete wall, but water started getting in and intruding in on the transformers. So the plant automatically kicked over to emergency diesel generators. Now, here again, we're concerned because this is a deterioration in the safety margins that were there in that plant.
Right. I mean, that's what happened to Fukushima. They lost the power. They were supposed to go to the diesel fired generators. They couldn't because those had gotten flooded out. But here you've got them running. But for how long?
Well, let's hope a tornado doesn't come along and knock them out. This is, it's
or that they run out of gas,
or that the gas the diesel tanks get contaminated by flood water, which would basically cut the fuel source. This is called common mode failure, where the fuel tank gets fouled and then it cuts both diesel generators out. And then we're on the backup battery systems, which could be anywhere from 4 to 8 hours.
And then after that, the plant starts overheating and it could go into a meltdown.
That's a concern. This plant's been shut down since April of 2011, so it has had some time to cool, but there's still a tremendous amount of residual heat in there, and they need to have these electrical systems operating to assure that we don't get fuel damage, hydrogen gas generation, and potentially a detonation. That's what this is all about right now. These are not chocolate factories. They're inherently dangerous. That's the problem. And the fact that they built these plants on a floodplain is inexplicable. It's
it's almost as insane as building them on nuclear faults in California, which they've done.
Absolutely. And this is what, Associated Press has been reporting, and it's this most recent series of articles, is that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has basically caved in to a production agenda by the U.S. nuclear industry.
Yeah.
And so they've allowed these plants to be built.
Paul, we're just about out of time. How many feet is the water away from the nuclear material?
Well, right now, it's still behind it's still behind the reactor containment wall, and but the flood, there are penetrations that were found at 1,007 feet last week, and the river's now up at around 1,006 feet. So it's getting close.
Wow. So it's about a foot to go.
But let's hope they plugged all these penetrations.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Paul Gunter, beyondnuclear.org, the website. Paul, thanks for being with us.